It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Insight. I'm Jim Quinn with my special guest, Mayor of the beautiful city of Vineland. Tony is here with us. Tony, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you. Either one's fine.
Yeah, well, you like Anthony.
I do. There's some people call me Tony, and it's funny. There's like the grouping that does that, and when I get called Tony by certain people, I always know where it came from. But it was back in my young days when I worked at Sears. Everybody there called me Tony, and so it's always like, Tony Fanucci, come to the office, or Tony Fanucci, pick this up, or call Tony Fanucci. So my Sears days, I was always Tony to the senior staff.
Yeah.
But yeah, either one is
And
fine.
you were a kid then, too.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. I'd like to go back to that.
Well, I was saying, look how great the mayor looks. You really look fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. You've done really great. And you didn't have the surgery I had.
No, I started through intermittent fasting a few years ago.
Right. You did tell me about that.
And I stick with it, and now I still fast between a minimum of 12 hours a day, but usually 14 to 16. But I'm also working out on a regular basis now. John Lilly from the electric utility, his daughter Lauren is a personal trainer, and I work out with Lauren also work a few days a week, and I've been doing that since October. So I've lost even more weight, and I've been able to maintain the weight loss and keep it off, and trying to get a little stronger, a little healthier, a little more mobile. As we get older, we get less mobile, But Lauren's been doing a great job for me, and I'm very grateful for that. It forces me to plug time into my schedule to do it. But, had a lot of health concerns, and I needed to get them under control.
Yeah.
Nowadays you get a type A personality, and you seize it, and you just go.
Yeah.
And that's why I started the fasting, because it helped me rip the weight off. And then I got to a certain point where I had lost about 85 pounds or so, and I was kind of plateaued, which was great, but I wasn't satisfied. And that's when I decided to go a step further. I said, now it's time to start working out with someone and not work out like I worked out when I was a kid. I can't do that anymore. The energy's not there, the strength isn't there. But I'm feeling pretty good about what we've been doing since October. So yeah, thank you.
Fantastic.
I appreciate it.
You look great.
Getting in campaign shape.
Yeah, tell me about that. Were you on the ballot for the primary?
No. So the Vineland, of course, not being nonpartisan, we didn't have to worry about a primary. Yeah. Just looking forward to November.
And you have who's your slate?
So we haven't really announced yet. We're going to make it's okay. We're going to make a slight change. We have one of our individuals isn't feeling so well, so we're going to have to
hear that.
Yeah, make a little bit of a change last minute. We should be able to announce, I'm going to guess, like late June, early July.
Okay.
But we're just solidifying everything now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I'll tell you what, I'm sure the 4 years have flown by, haven't they?
Yeah.
Doesn't time go quick as we get older?
Boy, doesn't it?
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's like, wow, but I mean, I honestly can't think of anyone that's ever been the mayor of Vineland that's done any more than you've done in all the great things that have happened, the economic development, the road paving, the housing, the four corners there, Sacred Heart,
where Hans built,
right? Hans' place.
Yeah.
Now, of course, Newcomb, the old Newcomb.
It's incredible.
And it's so wonderful because there's like a lot, it's a shame for the people, but there's lots of people lined up that want to get in. So it's not even having trouble finding anything.
No, and they told us we were crazy and you'd never fill them up. And there's been waiting lists on every project he's had. So we're very fortunate that he's been building them here. He's got a couple more coming, and that'll be very helpful for the senior community.
Yeah.
We're very grateful for it because they're very nice, safe, comfortable, clean living conditions.
Yeah. And you're bringing in good citizens that aren't causing crime, not putting kids in school.
And no drain. Yep.
Right, exactly, no drain on the city. In fact, it's interesting, I was talking to a friend of mine recently, and anyway, she said her dream is to live in East Vineland. And right now, she's in the township. I said, I like East Vineland too. Of course, where I live.
Come on over.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Believe me, I wouldn't mind at all. Something was interesting too. I came up, and I realized this too. Vineland has more population than the entire county of Salem. It's amazing, isn't it?
I think our budget's bigger too.
Yeah, I'm sure it probably is. Yeah. Well, you've got, and when you think about it, with Salem County, they only have, I guess, I don't know if Elmer still has a police department or not. If they do,
they do a small one that's non-civil service.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Pennsgrove, Pennsville, Salem have it, Woodstown. So maybe, I guess there's probably 5.
Yeah, and I think state police help double up
That's
out there.
what I'm thinking. Yeah, because like with Cumberland County, of the 14 municipalities, only Vineland, Millville, and Bridgeton have police. All 11 are covered by the state police.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'll tell you what's tough. Not that they don't do a great job, but they have so large of an area to cover. When I first got married and was on the count, first got elected freeholder. I was living in Morris River Township and had an incident where it needed the police. It took 45 minutes for them to get there.
Wow.
You know, but you know, it's because Morris River Township, by the way, is bigger than Vineland in square miles as well. So it's like, you know, and this county's got lots of area for sure. And Vineland's the number one.
Does. Yeah.
69?
69 square miles as a city. Yeah. That's why people say, really, it's that big? Like, and I said, yeah, anything bigger than us in the whole state is a township.
Yeah.
You know, or a county, obviously, right? But yeah, as far as municipalities, we're it.
Well, I just got a message from one of the most wonderful women, and I'm sure you know her too, Patty Pollard. She said,
"Hey, Patty, hi."
She's a sweetheart.
Yes, she is.
And tell Sinatra we said hello to Patty. That's her loving cat. But it's funny, Patty and I were friends, and I wasn't into being as much a cat person as Patty was. Then my son got a cat, and then he moved to Idaho, and I've fallen in love with this cat. I love this cat. I mean, it's like, you know, I just really do. So, you know, and in fact, Barbara Barton, I'm so sorry. I saw Barbara. She lost her cat today.
Aww.
But, you know, you just get attached to an animal, cat, dog, whatever.
They become family.
They do. And for me, not being home that much, cats are good. A dog I couldn't take care of because I'm not.
Right, because cats are so independent, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, which is really wonderful. And I saw Tom and Jane Verba, said hello.
Hey, Tom and Jane, how you guys doing?
They wanted me to ask about Hansbridge Road. Is that maybe with a golf course or something, or Hansbridge Road?
Are they asking something specific on Hansbridge?
Well, it just said, please ask about Hansbridge Road. I don't know specifically what. If Tom and Jane, if you want to let me know what specifically
while you're listening, send Jim a message, and then we can hopefully try to answer that for you, whatever the question might be.
Right. The Dolores Genovese,
hey, Dee.
wonderful ladies watching.
Love Dee.
She's a sweetheart, isn't she?
She is the best.
She was in first grade when I was in 8th grade at St. Mary's. Yeah.
How about that?
And her brother, Tommy,
yeah,
he was in my class. What a great guy.
Nice.
You know,
yeah, Tom's a great guy.
He really is.
As a matter of fact, Tom's daughter is one of the recipients of the Italian Cultural Foundation Spirit of Achievement Award coming up for 2024.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yep. And Christina Renna, who's a Genovese, is one of the recipients, and we'll be honoring her. I think it's November of this year. Her and Senator Testa.
Oh, that's great.
Are the 2 recipients this year. Yeah. It's a big deal and a big honor for them.
So that's fabulous. Yeah. In fact, speaking of big deals and honors, I was able to go last night to the Vineland Chamber President's Dinner. Very, very nice. A lot of great people were honored there. What a wonderful board of directors, and Dawn Hunter does such a nice job with that organization. And it was a very nice dinner. Very nice.
They do a great job. Yeah. And Mike Lavari was one of the recipients.
Yes, he was.
Last night, who's done a tremendous job in his expansions in the industrial park. Just a phenomenal person. He just keeps reinvesting. He's doing great.
He's Sandy represented you.
Yes,
well.
correct.
She talked about that. Yeah. What a great
He's
job.
like the cold storage king over there.
Wow, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
It's incredible. What an industry.
Yeah, it's close enough to Philadelphia where you're about 30 miles away. It's just perfect for them because it's affordable and all the great deals that Vineland offers, you know, all the incentives and the opportunity to get low interest rent for the UEZ. You know who got honored last night too, and I know you know her, is she's the Urban Enterprise Zone person now. She was with TD Bank.
Oh, Denise Jackson. She's with the Cumberland Empowerment Zone.
Right.
Yeah, Denise is wonderful.
She
does such a good job at the CEZ.
Yeah. In fact, for a while, she was involved with the UEZ.
She was in Vineland at the UEZ before I was there, and then she left and went with TD Bank and was with TD for a while, And then the position at the CEZ opened up, the
Yeah.
Cumberland Empowerment Zone. And we as a board hired her on to do it, which is great. And frankly, I now have given my seat on the CEZ to Sandy.
Oh, okay.
Because, she's more readily available for those meetings during the day, because they're always right around lunchtime, and it's always a challenge with my schedule. And it was hard to attend, so I said, you know what, I had her as my an alternate for me, right? And then we were able to do it, and I spoke to the board that I wanted to step away and allow her to come sit in. And Sandy's the perfect fit for that, just because her background with the UEZ and all the programs and everything in the state, she knows everything like the back of her hand. So, and I'm very grateful for her being willing to step in that role for me.
Yeah, a natural person to do that.
Yes.
We're talking with Mayor Anthony Fanucci from the city of Vineland. We'll be back with the mayor with more on Insight right after these messages.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Life on Earth offers some challenges. Things are constantly changing. Seems like we're fighting battles all the time. But you're a warrior for God, and He's given you the armor of God. Join Pastor Myers for this exciting series on how to be equipped to win. It begins May 5th at 11 a.m.
New Life Church, Millville, New Jersey.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Welcome back to Insight. I'm Jim Quinn along with Mayor Anthony Fanucci, and we are at the Queen restaurant. I was here the other day and had my wonderful dinner. Turkey, stuffing, they gave me mashed potatoes, and I had mixed vegetables, and I had a salad, and I had orange sherbet for dessert. All of that. Guess what it cost me? $11 or $15. $15. You go to the fast food restaurant, see if you can get a salad, turkey dinner, stuffing, mashed potatoes, vegetable, and a dessert for $15.
You're getting a burger, fries, and a soda, or maybe a bottle of water.
Yeah.
And you're spending $15.99.
Yeah,
you know?
it's the truth. I go to Wendy's, and I get the salad. I like the apple salad and a single small junior hamburger, and it's 18 something for those.
It's unbelievable.
You know?
Not an affordable thing anymore for the general public. It's the unfortunate side of the inflation we're seeing, in the country right now.
Yeah, it's one of those tough things.
But they do a great job here. I was in for breakfast recently, and I had an omelet. And the omelet covers the plate.
Oh my God, yeah. I get an egg white omelet with this.
I don't even get the potatoes, the home fries with it, because you can't finish it. I had my toast. I had like a quarter of a piece of toast because the omelet was so big, but it was perfect. It was,
it's good protein.
Yeah, protein based, exactly, and it's good, and everything comes out fresh and hot. And they do such a nice job.
Yeah, they do. And their servers, the people are really good.
Yep.
It's a beautiful place, folks. And again, for $15, of course it's 2 of us. I had Fred Melendez with me, so it was 2 for $30. That includes chicken parm with your choice of pasta, Italian-style meatloaf with sautéed onions, peppers, mushrooms, marinara sauce, Parmesan, vegetable, baked ziti Parmesan, eggplant baked homemade lasagna, eggplant Parmesan, grilled marinated chicken, baked stuffed shells, stuffed calf's liver, that I'll never eat. People like that. Sautéed chicken scampi, roast turkey, which is what I get all the time, and spaghetti with 2 meatballs. All of those, 2 for $30, and that includes dessert and a soup or salad. You can get a soup or a salad, so I usually always get the salad, but again, it's great value, and Yilmaz and his staff do a nice job, and this is one of the nicest looking restaurants in Cumberland County, certainly a beautiful facility. So
absolutely,
you get a chance to come on in and see them. They're open 7 days a week from, I think, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And it's 7 days a week, 6:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. So stop in, and as the mayor said, they have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and everything is delicious. They really do a nice job. So I wanted to back up a little bit. Tuesday night was the primary, obviously. Now, it didn't affect your situation because you're not affiliated. But any interesting things that you saw with the primary?
I thought turnout was pretty good, to be honest with you. It was better than it's been in years past. I don't know if you attribute that to the fact that it's going to be a presidential year, or
that's a good point.
Or if there was excitement.
Well, there's a split in the Democratic Party.
I mean, you notice that in their primary results, because you could see where the totals normally would have been a lot higher for the candidates that took the line.
Right. Yeah. Well, and the thing I saw with the Republican Party, which I was happy to see, was Curtis Bayshall. I mean, he won big statewide.
He was huge, big victory.
Yeah.
He's a really nice guy.
Yes, he
He's
is.
a good business owner. I give him a lot of credit. You know, it's no easy task running for U.S. Senate, and frankly, that's probably one of the offices elected that I hold in the highest regard.
Yeah.
As United States Senator.
Yeah, that's one. There's only 2 in each state. Where congressman.
6-year term. You know, and the prestige, but along also with the legislative power that those senators carry with them is incredible, because they're like the last line of defense legislatively.
That's true. Yes,
you know?
they are. Yeah.
And it's a job not to be taken lightly.
Yeah.
And we've seen some of the things over the years with, you know, the shenanigans that go on in elected office in Washington, and it's tough. But frankly, those senators, and some of them have been there way too long.
Yeah, that might be a place where you might want to limit the time to 16 or 12 years or 18 years or something. But nope, they'll never do that. They'll never.
No, I mean, and if you went, because it's a 6-year term, right?
Yeah.
So even if you said you limited it to 3 terms,
right, 18
years, right? Because you could serve during the term of a president twice if that president is reelected,
right. Yeah, good point.
And then be there for some transition after. But, you know, there's got to be a transition period, and honestly, I think there's a lot of arguments to be made for term limits, right? And I think that if you have them, you've got to make it across the board. If you're going to term limit Congress, it should be term limit in the Senate. And if you're going to term limit Congress, they should really, and I know it's probably a constitutional amendment, but it's a 2-year term.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's every year you're campaigning.
Yeah, it should be 4 years.
Right.
It's crazy.
You know, if nothing else, you know, give them a 4-year stint.
Yeah.
Because frankly, it's hard to get anything accomplished in 2 years, especially if you're a freshman congressman coming in.
Exactly. Yep.
Your first year, you're still trying to figure out how to get up the front steps. You know, and then by the time you establish any kind of a relationship, it's in year 2, and you're in re-election mode. You know, so and I don't think that's great for the country. Especially with some new representatives.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you get some extremists in there that'll keep getting reelected on either side. And sometimes it's good to get them term limited out. But if you're going to do that, maybe that's 4 4-year terms.
Yeah. Again, it's 16. They all get 16 years. And gosh, 16 ought to be enough.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, even Biden has been there forever since he was like 28.
Yeah, President Biden's what, over 50 years in elected office?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, he is,
So,
because he's 80.
He might be.
81.
Is he the longest?
That's a good point.
That'd be a good trivia
Yeah.
question. We'll have to have Ryan look that up
Yeah.
for us during the break
Yep.
to see if he's the longest serving elected official.
I gotta believe he would be.
If not, he's got to be darn close.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And that's a challenge right now. And again, it's not like you can't move on from an office, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, even if you did 16 as a congressman and then you got elected senator, I guess you could do 16 there. But
yeah, depending on if you want to make a career out of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But
preferably you get new blood, but then and what happens is that's such a powerful position. They don't want to ever give it up. It's, that's something that they fight tooth and nail to keep, and that's the way it's been. I guess when you look, one of the interesting things that Curtis Bayshaw didn't have, but still won, he didn't have Trump's endorsement. The woman, Glasgow,
correct,
got Trump's endorsement, which was surprising. And of course, Curtis coming from Cape May County, I mean, that is really saying something for
the whole state,
and all the Republican organization here, and for the entire state. I mean, that's a big position for him. And what should help him is Menendez, who's looks like he may be a crook. He's now going to run as an independent against the Democrat person.
He is?
That's what I read. So that could help Curtis.
Curtis sneaks right up the middle.
Yep, exactly.
Because it's going to be Andy Kim, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Kim
So
about that.
I'll tell you, even if you're not a huge fan of anything political, watching how elections shape up, if you pay attention, is interesting, especially when you have battles like that going on in states like New Jersey. When was the last time we had a Republican United States Senator? Over 40 years, probably, right?
Probably, yeah. I can't remember the last one.
Ryan, that's one more thing for you to look up. We're putting them to work tonight. But it's true. I mean, and it's been very singularly ruled for quite a while. It'd be interesting to see. And then what happens there. But there's always a split. And the country is experiencing a lot of upheaval. No matter what side of the fence you're on, I think there's angst in both directions. All we can do is hope and pray that the right people get into office.
I just wish you or Mike Testa was running for president personally. There's two people I'd vote for.
Thank you.
Happy to vote for.
We'll leave that up to Michael.
Okay. Well.
My hair's gray enough.
Yeah, he doesn't have much gray hair.
No, he could use a little bit. But yeah, in all honesty, I just I love being where I'm at, and I love serving, in the community, and I'm proud to be the mayor here, and I'm proud that the people continue to put me in, and I was very proud to be a council president and a school board member. I've always loved serving our community, and
how many
it's given
years
me
have you served in?
18.
Oh, that's great.
So you figure I was elected in 2006 to the Board of Education for the first time.
24.
Yeah. So you figure, and so 18 years.
Yeah.
We're getting there a couple more years, and it's 20.
Well, I want to see when you catch up with the mayor of Lawrence Township, Skip.
Never. He's got everybody beat.
He's got me beat. With school board, I actually had 39 and a half years.
God bless you, Jim.
It was, but you know what? It was really interesting. But I'm sure I had the opportunity first to serve as a freeholder because I didn't live in Millville, and I lived in Morris River Township. I wanted to always run for the mayor of Millville, but I couldn't. For the first 10 years after I got married, I lived in Morris River Township. So I did get on the school board down there and served, and then I got elected freeholder. And then when I moved back to Millville in 87, I was still freeholder, and then 91 I lost, and the Florio backlash. And for the next 6 years I was out, and business was good, and we were doing well. And one of my employees came up to me one day, he said, "Jim, Millville election's coming up." Oh, I didn't tell you this too, this is interesting. I got a hold of Jeff Trout to run for the Millville City Commission election. I had him over in my office, had him in the conference room, had a bunch of my friends there. We're going to support Jeff. And then shortly after that, one of my employees said, "Jim, you always wanted to run for mayor. Things are doing well in the business now." I said, "Yeah, so I called Jeff. And he goes, 'You son of a gun, I can't believe you're going to do that.' I said, 'Jeff, don't worry about it. We're going to finish 1 and 2, and we did. I was 1 and he was 2.
How about that?
And of course, I had governmental experience, so it helped me going into the mayor's thing, where Jeff was brand new, although he taught history things like
And
that.
he moved on to become a freeholder
He
later,
did.
right?
Yeah, he got that monsoon election where it rained like crazy and no Democrats came out.
Oh.
And he and Jimmy Sorrow and I think Hal Johnson, I'm not sure, maybe it was Art Marchand. The three of them went right in. I mean, they were going against longtime incumbents, Jennifer Luckleball and Jane Christie and people like that were well known, but it was timing, you know. And to the Republican voters' credit, they vote. I mean, the one time the Democratic voters usually vote is this year, the presidential election year. That's the only time that, because when you look at Cumberland County, right now, I just saw an article recently that currently, as you know and I know, there are 10 elected positions, folks, in the county. 7 of them are county commissioner, and then there's 3 constitutional officers, the surrogate, the sheriff, and the county clerk. Right now, it's 9 of the officers are Republican. The only Democrat is Celeste Riley. And Mayor, about 5 years ago, one of my very favorite freeholders, one of my favorite people, Joe Spracio, was with me on the board.
Great guy.
He is a super guy. 5 years ago, he was the only Republican. It was 9 Democrats, and Joe was the one Republican.
Yep.
It's totally flipped. And I was just reading an article that it could very well go 10-0. Apparently, there are 5 or 6 other counties in the state that are 10-0 Republican. I think that's what they were saying. Well, Cape May County is.
Oh, Cape May, of course, yeah.
Although they don't have 5. They have 5 instead of 7 county commissioners, so they're 8 instead of 10.
Right.
Still, I mean,
it's a full contingent,
exactly, yeah. And I'm sure probably Atlantic County, I don't know if they have any, maybe, whatever. But they did mention there were 5 currently that were 100% Republican things.
Well, listen, you know what? When that kind of stuff happens, and I tell people all the time, now there's no blame game.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. Good
There's
point.
no excuse.
Yeah.
If you have a majority like that, you should be able to work your agenda, and hopefully it's for the good of the people.
Yeah.
And then when you do that, you should be able to produce and perform and make results happen, right?
Yeah.
We have our slate here in the city of Vineland. We've had that slate now for 2 election cycles that have been 100% mine.
Right.
And I'm very grateful for that. And look at the change in Vineland. Look at the change in the cycle that we perpetuated and is moving forward every single year. Like you mentioned, economic development, road work, cleaner city, job growth. We did all that. We balanced our budget this year with a 0 tax increase here in the city of Vineland.
That's fantastic.
Right?
Jeez.
Now, and that's with record inflation.
Didn't you stick the citizens with the trash thing, like Millville? Millville now, it's $20 a month to pick up your trash.
We took years ago before I was mayor.
You had 2 trash pickups in the week.
Not anymore. We went down to 1.
I know you did.
Yeah, we used to have it until COVID. That changed everything.
Yeah,
COVID was truly the game changer for everything, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
The trash fee is separate, right? So people see it on their utility bill,
right.
So they know. But it came out of the property taxes, because what was happening for years is it wasn't really being disclosed what they were paying for trash in the city of Vineland. It was buried in the tax rate, and it was artificially enhanced. And I took a lot of heat over garbage for a while, and people kept saying, "Oh, the rate is this, or the rate went up, and the rate did this, the rate did that." The problem is that they never saw it before, so they didn't realize it. And they all thought they were getting it for free.
Right.
There's no free lunch, you know that. And what they don't understand is that we're paying people to pick the trash up, but that's only part of your rate. The disposal and what you pay to the county, landfill, right, to get rid of all that and dispose of it, do the recycling, do everything else, is all factored into that. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, and probably still don't quite understand, even though we've tried to educate them as much as possible. But it's transparency, it's disclosed. We're not hiding what the rates are. We're showing you, and we take it out of your tax bill, right?
Well, that's the argument. They've been taking it out of the tax bill. What, all of a sudden, why did you have to put a utility rate in? Couldn't you keep taking it from the taxes like you've done for all the history of the city?
And if you did that, are you still artificially subsidizing it through your budget?
That's good.
We are not.
Yeah.
Right? The solid waste is a utility in Vineland, much like electric and water. Right? You have the solid waste utility. It's its own entity. It's self-liquidating, right? It's non-for-profit. And the rate that's attached to it as a resident that you pay for your pickup is exactly the rate per household, per pickup. And that's it. There's no fluff in there. There's none of that. We run it really tight. And it's important because you don't want to gouge anybody on any service.
You must have saved quite a bit of money by going to once a week, right?
So it helped us because the costs went through the roof, right?
Yeah.
And we had no choice because with bidding, it was impossible. And frankly, with the workforce issues, because listen, there's still workforce issues coming off of COVID. People are not coming to work, but wages are much higher now, right, for people, which is okay, right? I don't mind people making a living wage. The problem is that they kept arguing for a higher wage increase for people while the federal government is watching inflation go through the roof. So you're arguing for $15 an hour or $16 an hour for someone, it needs to be a living wage. Well, okay, I don't disagree with you, but when you have 40% or 41% inflation, what are you doing? So it's almost like they're talking out of both sides of their mouth, and it is what it is. But we had to do that in order to buy the trucks. It was more expensive now than ever to buy the vehicles. Fuel, no matter what type of fuel you're using, is more expensive.
Well, and I've always been a person to outsource when you can save money. And you've got Pinelands, is that who's doing it?
Correct. We did a hybrid. We own all the equipment.
That's right.
And then they have the workforce.
Right.
And that was the way we were able to really balance it and keep the rate,
That's a great idea.
at a very feasible number for our residents, because our toters are big and there's a lot of trash. And then we do bulk pickup and different things, and there's a lot that goes on.
It was interesting too, when I was the mayor of Millville, and we handled it all in-house with our own employees. We had an awful lot of workman's comp cases. In the back and all that kind of stuff. So finally, when they outsourced it, CUA or whatever, even with you guys, you're good because Pinelands is responsible for their employees.
Correct.
You don't have to worry about that. So
And that's important, and we have a huge territory to cover. And what people don't know, I grew up right down the street here. So I grew up on Landis Avenue. And when there was trash pickup that was municipal for the city, residents where I lived right here on Landis, just between Brewster and Lincoln, there was no trash pickup. You had to pay for it privately.
Oh, wow.
So we had a private hauler pick up our trash at one point. We used to go to take it to the dump, and then that just wasn't practical anymore. And my older brother, when he was alive, would take the trash to the dump. I wasn't old enough to drive a vehicle at the time. And then it was just, my mom, my sister, and I living there when my brother moved out. So when you had a lot of trash building up, you had to get rid of it. Well, it got to a point where you needed to get it. The city did not supply that. We had to pay a private hauler. So I remember the gentleman, Zach Higginbotham.
I remember Zach too.
Mr. Higginbotham used to come with his truck, and he had a bunch of people there, and he would pick up. It was a good little business for him. And, he was like clockwork. So we knew when to have the trash out, and it would be there curbside, and he would pick it up and take it away. And, you'd give him his check, and you were good to go. So that's, people don't realize what it was like prior to, and where we've evolved to. And frankly, the climate in the country has changed because of COVID and what happened with the workforce. And we lost so many people that were doing these jobs. And then, of course, again, the costs have skyrocketed.
A friend of mine works for Pinelands, and she was saying how tough it is to get employees.
I believe it. And they're doing a fantastic job here. Really have so far. They took over in January. And they've done a great job.
That's good. Yeah, well, it's great to hear. We're talking with Mayor Fanucci here on Insight. We'll be back to talk more with the mayor right after these messages.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great healthcare for everyone.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Life on Earth offers some challenges. Things are constantly changing. Seems like we're fighting battles all the time. But you're a warrior for God, and He's given you
The armor of God.
Join Pastor Myers for this exciting series on how to be equipped to win. It begins May 5th at 11 a.m.
New Life Church, Millville, New Jersey.
It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Welcome back to this is Insight, and I'm Jim Quinn along with Mayor Anthony Fanucci, and we're talking about things happening in Vineland. Tom and Jane, if you're still out there, would you message us specifically what you want to know about Handsbridge Road? I'm thinking, and I said to the mayor off the time when we took a commercial break, that it may be with a golf course crossing Handsbridge Road and with the golf carts, I guess. And you did say that
They're going underground,
as
I've been advised, yeah.
Okay.
And then, of course, if it's in regards to paving, that's a county roadway, not a city roadway, but we've been hammering away at the county for a long time, but I've been told that once that construction is complete there, that they're going to be paving Handsbridge Road. So we're hopeful that it'll be this year, because it really needs to be done desperately from end to end. And, and I always like to tease a little bit, but I figure we should get something for our $49.5 million we're pumping into the county right about now.
You give almost half of the income to the county of Cumberland, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It is, isn't it? But
I tease them. I say, I'll take all the roads back from the county. I'll take my almost 50 mil too.
Yeah, that's true.
We could do a lot of work with that. So,
do you know Brian Curley?
Brian.
I was during the break. The mayor and I were talking about. I'm related to the Curleys, and Brian is like the head of the county road department in Vineland. He has the Vineland area. So
his name's familiar.
Quite a long time.
I'm trying to think if yes, as a matter of fact, I have met him a couple times. You're right. And you know what? I don't deal with it too often. Jimmy Neer pretty much handles everything.
Oh, God. I love Jimmy Neer.
Oh, yeah.
He's the Energizer Bunny.
He's really
amazing,
solid.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a great worker.
I've never seen a guy come up to me. Anything else we can do? Anything else you need? And I think he'd come in at 6 in the morning, leave at like 8 at night. It's like amazing.
He loses vacation time every year, this guy. He doesn't take it.
He loves to work. What a great worker.
Yeah, we're very blessed to have him.
Yeah, it's wonderful. But anyway, Brian, I told him to hang in there because Brian was having some problems with administrative or the department. And fortunately, that guy went over to CCIA, and Brian's happy.
He's doing all right?
Yeah.
Good.
Kevin
Semignato, yes.
Is now the head of the
Director.
Public Works Department. He's the director. And I don't know if you ever knew Jack Deltis.
Who is it?
Jack Deltis,
No.
Delts. Jack was the Public Works Director. My father knew him. He worked at Noble Silica Sand Company. This is back in the 80s when I was freeholder. And that was my department. And John Rose had it for 1 year, and then he retired. So I needed to hire somebody. And my dad said, Jack has a little experience running a sand company and all that. Brought him on board, and he was phenomenal. And he was also the mayor of Marshall Township.
Okay.
And had served on a committee, and just another great worker. I mean, Al Gore came in for the water designation of wild and scenic and all that stuff. And they were down at Marshall Township, so Jack was there. Jack set up all the chairs himself and took them down all himself. And Bob Smith was a freeholder at the time. He goes, Jim, this guy's amazing. I said, yeah, he really is. And unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago, but his grandson is doing really well, Jeff Rascone. He's been on my show and talking about this was funny. You can appreciate this. Jack Feltus had held an elected position, and of course he knew I was an elected position. And he said to me when he first came on board, he said, "Let me tell you something, Jim." He said, "Anything goes wrong in the county, it's my fault, Jack Feltus's fault." He said, "Anything goes right, it's your credit." So I said, "Well, I appreciate that. That's nice, to get." But he was just a really good guy, and John Newt came over there, another good person. Of course, that buddy of yours, Ruby, he steals all the good people. I ran into his attorney at the Phillies game.
Oh yeah, they go into retirement. They go right over there to the country club, literally.
And actually, I lost my accountant, Matt Preziosi.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. What a great young man.
Yeah, isn't he though?
Yeah.
But fortunately, I got Tony Novak's my new accountant. He's doing a good job. But it's great that those jobs are available for all of them. And it was nice to see Mike Fralinger. I'd seen him in a long time. He's doing well.
He is a good guy.
Yeah, really is.
Excellent land use attorney.
Yeah, that's the key. Yeah, exactly. In fact, I need to find one for my property in Upper Deerfield. But he can't do it now because he's working for John. But the Van Emden fellow, Nate Van Emden, does that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I used to be on the zoning board as the mayor.
He used to do some land use work for us at the board level here for planning and zoning for a period in time.
That's good.
They made the boards, I think, made a shift this year, but he did it for several years for us. I like Nate. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Speaking of nice guys, tell everybody who your solicitor is. Everybody loves you.
Ricky Tonetta.
Oh, my God. My cousin Joey Baruffi goes, "We got Rick." And then somebody else has Rick, too, right?
Pickleski. Woodbine.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. Mayor Pick.
He's a pretty pup.
He is a sweet
He's
one.
So funny. We've been friends for years. There's a man. It's been 30-some years, Mayor of Woodbine.
Yeah, absolutely. And, he's done a good job down there.
Yes, he does.
And I always tell him, when we're applying for grants, please don't apply for the same grant we are.
Yeah, because
they always get it.
Yeah. Well, I told him Mike Zampino's what's made him a star.
Oh, Mike's great.
Company. Yeah.
They do a lot of work for us.
Yes.
And have had for, oh my goodness. Well, back before Mayor Garton even built City Hall.
Really?
Zampino's been doing work for the city. So, I got to say, probably I may not even have been born yet when he started, Mike. Not to show his age, but he's been around a long time and does a lot of work. And they've gotten, tens and tens of millions of dollars in grants for the city of Vineland, let alone for all the municipalities and counties all over the place. He's done, so much work.
Yeah.
But great guy. His daughter Carolyn, is heading the ship these days, and she does a good job, and her team. We really enjoy working with them.
Yeah, and I always laugh because when Bill Pickleski's done so well with all the stuff, and I know that it's Mike's group that got him these grants. Get a chance, folks. Just ride through Woodbine sometime, especially if you're on the way to Sea Isle. It's a good shortcut to go.
Oh yeah.
They have pavers in the intersections and a walking park, a bike park, bikeways, and all those things.
A lot of positive changes down there.
Yeah, it really is. But he's quite a gentleman.
He really is.
Funny. In fact, I was talking about what's the hunting club that's on the Natico in Vineland? Where the guys get together Wednesday nights for dinner.
That's on Panther Road.
Panther.
Yeah, the New Italy Hall.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, New Italy Gun Club. Donnie Fiocchi's place.
Oh, okay.
Over there on Panther and Genoa, right on the corner.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I see Bill Pick there.
Oh, yeah, he comes up all the time for dinner. Listen, if you want a good meal, go over there. Those boys can cook.
They sure can. The last time I was there, of course, I don't eat red meat, but I loved their dandelion salad. Oh, my God, it was delicious.
Now, do you eat pork?
No.
You don't eat pork either. They had a roast pork sandwich sale 3 weeks ago, maybe. And I happened to know about it. I was in the area. As a matter of fact, Jack Chittarelli was down.
Hey, I just
was
saw
on
a picture of him.
Diner tour. Yeah, he was over today. He's in Vineland. He was here at Queen doing a diner tour.
Oh, that's cool.
And I said, "What are you doing now that you're done?" He says, "Well, I got to run here and there and so forth." He says, "But I have about, like a 30-minute window before I really have to get on the road."
Uh-huh.
And I said, "You want to take a ride over to the New Italy Hall?" I'd love to. He hadn't been there since the campaign trail last time. I said, the boys are having a roast pork sandwich sale. Let's go over there and let's go get something.
Yeah.
Well, Donnie Fiocchi puts this rub on this pork and marinates overnight. And then they cook it, and then they pull every piece of fat out of it.
Wow.
After it's cooked. And your sandwich is pure roast pork. I'm starting to
hungry too.
And, and broccoli rabe and sharp provolone cheese and any kind of hot pepper you can want to put your hands on, whether it's a long hot or a banana hot, and the beautiful fresh rolls. So we go in and come around back, and I surprise the boys with Jack. And we go in and we sit there, and I'm like, geez Louise. But, the sandwiches get to be so big, you can only eat so much. I'll take about a half of a hat as a little treat. Well, let me tell you, you bite into that thing, and all you want to do is tear another one up. I'm not doing it, but they do such a good job with everything they do.
Yeah, they do.
And they're always so good to the community. They're all the guys from the Station 5 Volunteer Fire Station 2 that are all part of that club.
Right.
And anything you could ever need or want, or if you're stuck, those are the guys you want to call. Donnie, Mr. Flame, that whole crew of people over there. You've got them all. And Jimmy Sorrow goes over there and helps.
Yeah,
Keith Bond goes over there and helps these guys do stuff. I mean, when you go in there, it's like old home week.
Yeah, that's great. In fact, that's where I said to you, I saw my cousin Harry Curley.
Yeah.
He goes there. My cousin Joey Baruffi goes there.
Yep.
And I've gotten invited by Nick Acelta, so that's nice, and I see Jimmy Sorrow. In fact, it was nice. I want to thank Jimmy Sorrow and Tori Loads last night. I went to the chamber dinner, and I was told my table was number 16. There were no seats at table 16, and Jimmy kept saying, "You come sit with us." I got to sit with them, between them, and Jimmy and I go way back.
Oh, yeah. Just had a grandbaby.
I know, isn't that wonderful? I saw that on Facebook.
Yep.
And he just turned 70 then. Young kid.
God bless.
Gosh, yeah.
And I can't believe he jumped back into this mess. Yeah. Went right back into the political arena. He's still working in Washington Township.
I know. Yeah.
You know what? It's a great generation of you guys that really have, the men and women of your era have great work ethic.
Yeah, they do. That's true.
And they keep going. It's wonderful to see. And so many of you set an example for my generation. Which I'm very blessed to be a part of. I don't love getting older.
You're a pretty good worker yourself. I'll tell you that.
We try, that's for sure. But thank you. Came from good parents.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. My father was a workaholic. I mean, I just don't have hobbies. I love to work. I love doing this. Obviously, this is not really work, but this is where I make my living.
Yeah.
But I just enjoy keeping busy. I just get bored easy. Like said, ADD, I guess.
That's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. Keep yourself busy is a good thing.
Yeah, it is. And I think it helps you stay alert and sharper and things like
Without a doubt.
That go on. But I tell you, the Trout National is really moving. I mean, I look on Broad Street and I see the walls there. I didn't know they were coming all the way over to Broad Street as well. That's fabulous. There's going to be a silica golf course. Is that
the public 9-hole.
Yeah. Okay. So
what people don't understand. I had this conversation today. Someone said to me, well, what's the benefit of that going up there, and how's it going to benefit Center City?
Yeah.
And I said, well, what people don't realize is the fact that to build this thing, the amount of construction jobs, regular labor, skilled labor that goes into something like this is incredible. Let alone when they finally open up, the service industry jobs that are going to be there, that are going to be better paying, right? Then people can get out of town, and then they don't have to travel out of town. They can get hired here. Is unbelievable. And that workforce comes from all over the city of Vineland. And it's always a challenge when someone says, well, how's it going to affect here? Well, you can't just look at one group, right? You've got to look at the city in total. There are sections of East Vineland. There's the western side. There's North Vineland. There's South Vineland. There's East Vineland. But they're all part of Vineland. We are Vineland proper. We are the city of Vineland. And when people territorialize it and separate the city, I get it if you need to do it geographically, like, hey, we need to do this. Where are you? Well, I'm in the eastern section, or I'm in the southern section, or I'm in North or West Vineland. I get that. But we are all Vineland. So if there's something major happening here that's a positive, it's a benefit to the entire city, and it's a trickle-down effect all the way through.
Well, and you're right. I mean, they're going to go to the Wawas, they're going to go to the different stores, the people that are in, they got to get something, they go to the mall, and pick things up that they need while they're here. And of course, the hotels are going to benefit, and again, more people are going to be hired. And I understand the the hotel chain is building a new hotel.
Roths are working on another project now. Yeah.
What good guys they
Yeah.
are. They've
Yes.
got mostly, except for the Ramada, I think all the hotels, or most of the hotels in Vineland are really good, and they're really nice. I mean, Wingate, Hampton, and the Holiday Inn Express are very, very nice. And, you know, I went to school with Roths. And, in fact, I worked on a chicken farm. My first job, they owned a chicken farm.
No kidding.
Yeah, they were out near the Millville Airport. Mom and Dad lived there, and they had a big chicken farm. And at one point in time, that was big in Vineland. Chicken farm.
Oh, yeah,
very, of course, big. And 7 days a week, I worked on George Wash was the guy's name. He was across the street from me. My family homesteads where Walmart is in Millville now. I used to go over there 7 days a week and collect the eggs and that type of stuff, and used to mow lawns and all that. But I always was a worker like my dad was, and I worked with.
My father used to vaccinate chickens.
Okay.
He lived in Landisville, and he would walk from Landisville to Vineland and come down here on Landis Avenue somewhere to vaccinate chickens.
Oh my goodness! Holy mackerel! That's amazing.
And would walk home.
Jeez.
Yeah,
that's good.
Different time, of course.
Sure was. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he was a tough cookie, but he was a worker.
So, that's where you get that work ethic. I think we do get that from our family, from our parents and stuff. And
without a doubt,
my dad just loved to work. I mean, again, I love sports. I baseball, football, basketball stuff. So I go to games and I watch and that type of thing. But he didn't even do that. And he wasn't a hunter or fisherman either. So he was always working, working in the yard, doing stuff, and admired that. And speaking of him, Duke Luciano, I told you where our house was, is where Walmart is now. Yeah. And Duke's junkyard was behind our house.
Oh, yeah, right.
So Duke used to come in and he'd give me a baseball bat, and was always very nice to me. And if I told you, but the neat thing is his great-grandson, Nick, is my Phillies agent.
How about that?
I saw the name, Luciano. I said, you know, by chance from Vineland? He says, yeah. And anyway, George is his grandpa. But Duke was his great-grandfather. He's like his early.
How about that? You'll have to hook me up with him because I need to get some tickets. And I promised my wife and kids I'd get him out to some games this year.
I'll give you his phone number. Sure, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's really very helpful. Really nice guy. But how about those Phillies, huh? They're unbelievable.
Well, all I can say is I'm glad Castellanos finally picked a couple games.
Yeah, I know. I was frustrated with him. He's inconsistent, but he's done well lately.
And I said, hopefully he didn't burn out yet, so when they get to London, they can know take out the Mets. Because if they have to lose to the Mets, I'm never going to hear the end of it from Al Vargas.
Yeah. Well, I got Phillies are amazing.
Very entertaining this year. Really
great. Yeah. Every game I've been to.
And it's not even July where it's really hot and the ball's carrying yet, but it's coming.
Yeah. It's 43 wins now or something. It's unbelievable. They're leading Atlanta by 7 or 8 games in the division. And and even with Trey Turner out, the fellow that's in for him is doing a good job.
I guess he's due back in a couple weeks now because I know he got delayed a little bit, but he's doing some workouts and some drills. Yeah. Look forward to that. That's my youngest daughter's favorite player on the Phillies.
Trey Turner?
Yeah. Her jersey number for softball is number 7.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah. That's her
what
guy.
Position she playing softball?
So she's a first baseman, actually.
Okay. She left
predominantly. No.
Okay.
But
she's tall, I guess.
Nope. Scrappy. She's has great reaction to the ball. And she's a darn good little hitter.
Oh, that's super.
And she's quick. She's quick like Turner.
Yeah.
You know, and she's got good mindset. And for a young lady, it's hard to keep their concentration sometimes. But she's very focused, and it's not often I have to tell her, Adriana, refocus. Adriana, pay attention. You know, get set, get ready. But she's hungry for that ball. Like, she wants that ball coming her way.
Yeah, especially with first baseman, a lot of times somebody's throwing it to you if it's not hit to you on the ground. Stuff like that.
And it's tough. And these kids are young, so their throws aren't perfect and accurate. But her efforts are there, and she's very passionate about making sure that she's playing an all-around game. So
that's super. I've got a neat softball story to tell you. I managed softball for my daughter when she was 9, right up to 15. And I got the all-star team the 1 year because our team was doing well, and that was the 13 to 15-year-old all-stars. So we go out on the road, and we're doing very well. And what I did was, everywhere we go, usually play a doubleheader. So there were 14 girls on the team. I made up a lineup So every girl played at least 10 innings.
Nice.
So anyway, we got to the finals, and the coaches, who are nice guys, they said to me, Jim, you got to stop this. I said, what's that? You can't play all the girls. This is too important. You got to just play the 10 best girls. I said, here, you manage the team. I gave the book to one of the coaches. Well, that game, that day, 2 girls, Heather and Kiki, never got in 1 inning. And Heather was on my league team. Never got to play 1 inning out of 14 innings, doubleheader. So her mom called and said, Heather's done. She's going to quit. I said, please have her come back. I'm taking the team back tomorrow. I promise you Heather will play the whole game at second base, and I apologize. So anyway, I did. And guess what? Heather went 3 for 4, triple, double, single, drove in 5 runs, and was named player of the game. Got a trophy as player of the game. So the point is, I could tell you, I knew who the best 6 kids were.
Of course, right.
But from 7 to 14, they were interchangeable, and they, but it was, and she's in her 40s now. She remembers that.
How about that?
But again, that's a positive thing to remember. On the other side of it, if you never get to play, why would I even get picked? I mean, that's
right.
And I give the guys and gals that coach a lot of credit. They put a lot of time and effort into it. And it's something I've always loved, and I was very blessed to be able to do Little League and girls softball. Both. Millville, at that point in time, the Little League champion, which my team won 2 years in a row, we had to go up to Vet Stadium, and I got to get the kids down on the field and ground balls,
that's great.
And fly balls. And it was 1980. They got Pete Rose. They met all those, Tug McGraw, Schmitty, Boa, and to this day, those guys are in their mid-50s now. They're talking about that's something that's always...
They never forgot. That's
exactly.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, that was neat. And when Mike Trout first came in, I was able to sell 5,000 tickets, and the Phillies gave us $40,000. It was $8 a ticket, and we were able to use that for the League Boy and
how nice
RRCA and stuff. They're a great organization. They really are.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's good. Mayor, thanks for coming in.
Always a pleasure, Jim. Thank you for having me.
Good. Keep up the good work.
Yes, sir.
I'm proud of you. See you again next month.
Sounds good.
Take care. Thank you, Ryan Horowski, for producing the show. Ryan's been a busy man this week. We've been on location just about every night. And anyway, thank you so much for joining us here on Insight with Mayor Anthony Fanucci. I'm Jim Quinn. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.